everyone, this is Anne Marie taking a look at SPY, but more importantly, I want to talk to folks about setting up this embedded SMI that I use in MotiveWave. Today is the last day of March Madness for MotiveWave. It's the best time of year to pick up this software, and if you check my name there, you'll get an added discount. So there you go. Let me talk a little bit about this. So here's the SMI. Let's take a look at the SMI reading here. This is an unusual space because I have one of them set up as a histogram and one of them set up as a line. And so clearly we can see this is the one that's the histogram, right? Because it's the gray and the yellow. The readings, I've got an EMA here. You can use an SMA if you like. EMA has a little bit more sensitivity, but because I have the histogram event, it sort of takes away from that just a little bit, trying to get a little of the jiggles out of there. But smooth period 1, signal period 1, we do not want any kind of translations, and that's a goofy math term, here underneath the smoothing period. We don't want it smoothed, and we don't want to change the signal period based on anything but these moving averages. All right, so here's the way that looks. You can pause it and see how everything looks. If you want to go to advanced, you're going to see that I have the indicators set out here. That's the current reading for what the SMI is. And you know, while I'm here, I may as well put it to orange. It seems to make the most sense. All right, so you've got these options here about the signals. I do get beeps for when that comes out. And if you want to change the look of what this is, whether it's a line or not, again, you're going to click that. You're going to choose gradient to help it go from dark to light. And then you're going to use whatever colors that you like. You want to choose automatic. And then you want to say show as bars. If you unclick this, it's going to be a line. Okay? But if you say show as bars and you give it an auto width and hit the display, you're going to have it just like that. Now here's the beautiful thing. We can apply that and then update. And if you want to add another SMI like I did, you can say add overlay and it'll give you a series of choices. I chose the stochastic momentum index because I wanted two of them on the same space. All right, now notice I only have one line here, so I want to show you why that is. I have the SMI line and then the signal line I have as unchecked. Why? Because I don't care about the average SMI. I don't do crossovers. You guys know that I don't. We are looking for inflection and formation of the line. We don't care about the crossover. Crossover is usually too late in many, many cases. So we use our normal indicators to get us out of that. So we want that signal line not to be displayed, and we want our regular SMI line to do the same thing. Again, notice I do not have click show as bars because I don't want two histograms on top of each other. I choose gradient so I can have the nice color change. It can let me know when things are really extended, and sometimes they can get really extended and not be that far away. It's a very interesting thing right there. So we want to watch for that. All right, so that's exactly how you do that. I've been asked to show that a number of times. We have a 4 and 12. Sometimes I use the 4 and 10, but again, we don't want any translation periods, so we don't want anything to smooth, and we don't want anything that has a signal period, anything less than 1. All right, so that's it. Hopefully that gives you a view of what it is that's going on there. If we take a look at what's happening with SPY, we can see that we've been caught in these ranges. This is a weekly chart, folks. 1, 2, 3, three regions that we have ourselves boxed into. And so that in itself is saying, well, you know, we've got a little bit of stair-step upside action. We did bounce off of this level as I thought we would, right? The big line in the sand for SPY is now this 183.58. It's where I have a swing short set up for folks in the SPY membership. So you'll be looking at that. And I do want to show you, I want to remind you, or maybe for those of you that just started watching, I do want to remind you that we are in a significant butterfly that has been moving since 2007. So we are at the top of this range. It certainly is flattening out. Notice we have two shaded areas. MotiveWave gives us this opportunity. We could still go as high as 98.26, and in fact, though I think that's unreasonable at this juncture before a significant pullback, we have a stretch all the way into 214.36. And so that is something to take a look at. But right now, notice where we are sitting. We've got negative divergence for the last, since November, we've had negative divergence, and it does continue. So folks, we are going to have a little bit of a rollover. We just don't know when. And so do you want to step in front of that? I would say absolutely not. You never want to step in front of these trades when they've got this much sitting around chopping there. Let somebody else decide to take the risk. You, as a trader, should be looking for the clean breaks. Listen, if it loses the 50 on the daily, which is about this 183.50, allow it to confirm with a candlestick. If you are looking for a swing, you can take an hourly candlestick. Short-term swings are all I recommend right now because the market is too messy to take it for a long period. So try level to level formations as this moves, but pay attention to the negative divergence. As my little friend Evan, who drew our Apple chart that we saw on Twitter, if you look at his little SMI, you can see that SMI with negative divergence showing that pullback that came in Apple on the horizon. This is the same thing, folks. We're looking at the same thing. Now we're sitting here at the base of this region. We're popping just a little bit. Probably not going to get past 186.74. For those of you holding on in things like, oh, I don't know, the biotechs, stuff like that, you may get a little bounce, but that's going to be the place that you want to cut and run for the most part, in my mind. So we'll be talking a little bit more about that as things move onward. So my thought to you is be careful. Realize that in the grand scheme, we are still upward trending. Look where the slow SMI is. Still doing well over here. But even the slow SMI is exhibiting negative divergence. And so when that occurs, we really do want to be extremely careful about what's going on, because a lot of folks are like, yeah, sure, it's consolidating, it's going to move right up. What is telling me that? I don't have any momentum that's telling me that. I'm holding the level, so I know I better not jump in front of the short, but I'm not seeing anything that's telling me I've got long side action on the horizon, and that's something that we really ought to be very careful to look at and validate before we step into a trade. The way you stay green over time and have an account that continues to move up is by properly assessing your risk and determining whether you've got a good shot of the chart moving in the direction that you have chosen. If it's not a good shot and you're rolling dice, you're doing the wrong thing, and your account balance is going to show that to you. All right? So good luck trading today, everyone. It's going to be pretty interesting, as always, and thank you for watching. I'll talk to you all later.